Hello, hello, and happy Friday Short Show, Internet. My name is Brett, your hostess with the mostest. This is Roundtable Media, and it is not episode 5. It's not a spring break special, although it is still YouTube exclusive, which we just started, so I'd really appreciate it. Get it out of the way now. Same shameless self-plug. Go down, leave a comment, like, subscribe, even dislike, because if you interact with the video, it still helps the metrics. Thanks, YouTube, for being a broken system. But would mostly appreciate the subscription. We're going to have episode 5, the season finale of season 1 coming out, but what this is a new series that I kind of want to carry into the summer as I do some traveling, because I'm a broke college student and would love more than anything to get away from all of my teachers. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And with this series, what I want to call it, it's a nice snappy name. Are you ready? Buckle up. Here it is. One-on, one-offs. It's just real catchy. It's like 2 different phrases melded together. We're going to try it. These aren't going to be hour-long, ridiculous videos about role-playing games or chicken, although we are going to have like a summer break special here in a couple weeks. Tyler's going to come back on the show, and we're going to have a new guest. We're going to talk about video games again, but that's a spoiler. And then keep an eye out for episode 5. It's going to be very special. Very special someone will be on with me and Alex in the next week or so. Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe. I'll try and get it out within the week. It depends on that special someone. But today, for the very first Roundtable Media one-on, one-off, I have with me very good friend, my former bully in high school. That's a different
story. I did not bully you. Let's just get that out of the way.
We'll talk about it. Morgan, I've never seen someone bang a drum with more enthusiasm than her. She's a TU marching band star, and honestly, she can pull off any wig she puts on, unless it's purple. Because I've never seen you wear one. Say hi, Morgan.
Hello.
So, I brought Morgan in for the first one-on, one-off, because she twice now has answered my casting call with a, "Pick me! Pick me!"
Pretty much.
Very enthusiastically. And the first time I felt so bad about telling you no, but Nolan literally messaged me like a minute before you did. And I was like, well, I mean, there it is. He got here first. But I promised her the next show, and here it is. And she gets it all to herself. You're the star.
I'm the star.
You made it. And
finally.
So since this is a quote-unquote pop culture podcast, or just a bunch of nonsense, maybe both.
Probably both.
The way I want our viewers to kind of get to know you, I think that's what these one-on, one-offs are going to be, are like little showcases of people that I like, and you should like. And if you don't, well, there are other things to watch. But you should totally watch us. I really appreciate it, because, you know, YouTube and watch time and everything. I'm not pleading. Anyway, Morgan, what about pop culture has, what specific, like, genre or item in pop culture has meant a lot to you? Like, what's your ish?
Ooh, so definitely music is kind of like my thing. I'm a music major, so obviously, this week or the last 2 weeks or so, about 3 years late, I got really into Hamilton. Like, really into Hamilton.
You are definitely late.
Like, very late. So, like, all the videos are, like, from 2016, and I'm like, this is fine. We're just gonna enjoy it.
It came out in 2015. You are 4.
Well, I know, but
you are 4 years late. But you're doing better than me, because I have yet to intake any of it.
It's really good. It's like the musical content of it is just phenomenal.
I keep hearing that, and you know, I just can't ever remember that I should watch that. I never finished Sword Art Online either.
I never started Sword Art Online, so not alone.
So music is a big deal to you, like
yes.
pop music, like Adam Levine, like
or the only like pop artist that I still listen to is Ariana Grande. Forever my queen.
So does everyone.
Yeah, but more like the newer alternative music, I guess. Like new Panic, new Fall Out Boy, 21 Pilots, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. By the way, Trench dropped like 4 months ago? 5?
Something like that.
Late last year. And if you haven't listened to Trench yet, you're missing out and are a bad human being, because it's a masterpiece, and I love almost all of those songs.
Very good.
The only one I don't love is Pet Cheetah, because I don't understand it.
I like Chlorine. That's my...
Oh, God. Yes. Yeah. That song is like sipping on straight chlorine.
Hence the title.
Yeah, uh-huh. What about lesser known music? Like, what's the most out there, like, underground band you listen to that you would just like wave a flag, be like, you should listen to these people?
Actually, okay, so it's a band called Sylvan Esso.
How do you spell what?
It's Sylvan, like the math thing.
Oh, okay.
Sylvan and then a space Esso.
Oh, yeah. Oh, ooh.
Yeah, Sylvan Esso.
That's neat.
Yeah.
It's they're just two people.
Yeah, it's one of my coworkers actually showed them to me like a couple weeks ago, and I've only heard a couple of their songs, but it's like I don't know, it's like really chill music.
Like lo-fi chill or just like
Just like if you're like driving in your car like at night and you're just
Oh.
like chill.
no.
That's what it's just chill.
That for me, I know that kind of music. I love that kind of music. For me, that's a band called The Midnight. Not all of their stuff is nighttime road trip chill.
Hmm.
Like a good quarter of it is. Can definitely understand that. I will have to check them out because The Midnight needs to put out more music more often. Okay. So music means a lot to you. What's your what's your favorite music to perform? Because I know you like bang on the drums. I've seen you play piano, you sing a bit. Like what do you enjoy performing?
That's kind of a toss up because there's like a lot of different types of music that I play because I do play a lot of different instruments. But I really like percussion ensembles, like Ivan Trevino-esque, like kind of I don't know how to just like minimalist music, but with like a lot of instruments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it, like everything kind of builds off each other, and then it comes to this big like motive, and then it like kind of dies off. I don't know. I just really like that.
That makes me think of like soundtracks, but like good soundtracks.
Yeah.
Not like overbearing like Tom Cruise. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
Like maybe not, but
I'm not as much of a fan of orchestral music as I was. I like soundtracks obviously because they're phenomenal. But
depends on the soundtrack.
It depends on the soundtrack.
Okay, well then I asked Tyler this, but it was about gaming. Favorite soundtrack
Harry
movie.
Potter.
Okay, moving on. Easy.
Yeah.
So what else? What else about pop culture? Like, so music is your number one. What would be your number two?
I don't know. I don't get on like I'm not on social media like a whole lot, so
Don't ever start.
like follow
It's-
a whole lot of stuff.
It's just the happiest place in the world.
I wanted to get into Twitter and I really tried, but
No.
I couldn't. I just didn't.
No.
I have a Twitter. I just don't use it.
So does Alex, but you shouldn't read it. And this includes you people at home. Alex isn't here, so we can talk about this. She doesn't technically have a Twitter. She has a Twitter, but there's nothing on it. But the joke at the end of every show is don't read Alex's Twitter.
Oh jeez.
Because you can't.
Because there's nothing there.
And that's what I'm making fun of her for. She has a Twitter and doesn't even use it.
I use my Twitter. I have like, I retweet stuff from like percussion accounts, which is really boring. But I have like a couple of like good, or what I thought was good tweets.
Isn't that the biggest thing? I thought it was a good.
I thought it was good. It like my latest tweet is like, if you think universities should have more accessible parking, subscribe down below, and I will show the police.
Okay.
Like it's stuff like that.
That is a valuable tangent because for those of you that don't know, the University of Tulsa's, and I'm not even ashamed to say this, in Tulsa's Media Lab Studio 151, it belongs to them. I'm not ashamed to say this on their airwaves that their parking here is abysmal.
It is terrible, especially because I don't live on campus. Like I'm a commuter, and there is no good parking.
Scholarly articles for university parking problems. You can't make this stuff up, people. It writes itself.
Oh my god.
Empirical study of parking problems on university campus. Sure, it's the first thing that came up. This is by a student from... Where are you from? And I cannot pronounce this Chinese student's name, so I'm not going to butcher it. In recent years, more and more university employees tend to choose their residences in places outside the campus. As a result of this change, the number of private cars owned by them is increasing rapidly. In addition, the communication between universities and communities has become much closer than before. This leads to a shortage of campus parking capacity. This article has presented a case study of the campus parking problem. Oh, using the University of Beijing as an example. Yikes, they have a lot more people than we do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, more and more people want to work at the university, but don't want to live there. And all of us that live here don't get a parking space. And as much as I hate, like, our in-house... Not hate. That was the wrong word. As much as... Okay. So what happens sometimes in a person's brain when they talk way too fast and have a mild stutter and maybe ADHD is they flip a lot of words. And that just happened to me on air. What I wanted to say was, as much as I love our in-house staff, I hate our parking situation.
Oh, absolutely.
But I switched those emotional adjectives, and I'm terribly sorry. That is not what I meant to say.
Thanks, dude.
Okay, but no, the in-house staff is great. They feed us, they clean up after us, they fix all the stuff we break because we're college students. But, like, build them a parking lot.
Right?
And, like, give us the rest of the spaces. The only reason I don't have a parking problem is because, like...
You're in residential.
I live in residential.
Yeah.
That's the only way to probably guarantee yourself a spot.
Right.
There's been twice I left in the middle of the day to, like... I went to the doctor one day, and I came back, and all of the spots in my complex were gone. And I was like, well, I'm just going to drive around and hope somebody leaves. And somebody did leave on the other side of the complex. So I had to walk all the way from building like A to building C.
Oh, no.
I'm in building C. And, you know, I was just blown away. And I was watching. It's like, no, half these people don't have permits. You needed to get to class. And sure enough, as I'm walking up my stairs, there goes Ticket Lady. Just down the line.
Yeah, I last semester like got to the point where I was almost towed because
Yikes.
the commuter lot so they didn't really advertise very well that there was like multiple parking lots. I thought there was just like the
Oh no, that's on
one
purpose.
big one, and then there's the one across the street, and I'm like, I am not gonna like cross the street and go like a mile
It's terrible.
onto campus, and that's like ridiculous. And so this semester I finally figured out that there's more lots, but they fill up so fast because they're so small. I'm like, what?
Well, and a lot of like sorority and fraternity and athletic students
Yep.
buy commuter passes, which those are not for you. And there's no system in place to be like, do you live on campus? Yes. Well, then you can't have this. They buy it, leave their car there.
Oh, I know. There's so many people that just like leave their cars, and I'm like, okay,
Cool.
that's not what
Then-
this is for.
I believe the phrase is, that's not kosher. Because you brought up Twitter, and then we ranted. And that's what Twitter is.
Yeah.
So the only thing about pop culture I know that like was a big part of your life at some point, or maybe still is anime. And we talked about anime a little bit, and I may have an anime dedicated episode in the future, but you get to talk about it first.
Oh, jeez.
And the very first like real connection you and I had was Attack on Titan. It had just
Oh, heck
premiered,
yeah.
and you figured out, I don't know how. I think Tim,
No, okay, so what had happened was we went on the fall retreat,
that's it.
and you had said something from Attack on Titan Abridged.
Oh
and
no!
I
yes,
like
yes.
finished the quote.
I thought I was alone, and I was sitting on the hammock on this cabin porch at our youth retreat, and just out loud, because I'm crazy, I went, yeah, but you know what would have made it better? And just kind of trailed off. And before I could even finish my own joke, Morgan goes, bread. And I whipped my head around and was like, what?
Yeah, that was unexpected because like I had just joined, and that was like my first event that I ever went to, and I was like terrified to talk to anyone, and I kept to myself, and then you said that, and I was like, this is my moment.
To make
And I
a
said it.
friend.
And then I said it, and then we bullied each other ever since.
We really have. Okay, so we say we bully each other because we're both highly sarcastic people.
It's just snarky banter, and
It's very
sometimes
snarky,
it gets.
but
it's
sometimes my feelings
way.
get hurt because I'm a man child.
big old baby.
I am a big old baby. And like Morgan will just get me good, and instead of coming up with a better one, I just kind of like, and sulk away.
I mean, but it goes both ways. I'm also a big old baby, but less of a big old baby.
But no, anime is not for like crazy weirdos. It connects people
Yeah.
that are crazy weirdos.
Yep.
We connected over a show about angsty teens
Fighting for their lives.
against giants.
Yep.
They don't even eat them like for sustenance. They just eat them for like
For
sport.
fun.
Gosh, that's like the darkest show I've ever watched.
But it's so good.
It
The
is so-
music is fantastic. It's so well animated.
Oh, we just went full circle. The music is the first thing you mentioned.
That is always the first thing I notice or mention.
The soundtrack is just what makes it like more intense, I think. Especially anytime Aaron is on screen. It's just like this really moody orchestral set. I'm just like, ooh, I can feel that. I can
I feel the angst
Yes.
coming from the screen.
So, you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of college? What is your advice to our future 8 listeners about college?
Don't.
What?
Just don't.
Just don't?
Just kidding. No, if you can, then absolutely do it. If you have the means to do it, then go. Because a lot of society's like, oh, you can't do anything unless you have a college degree.
So,
But a lot of it's not worth the stress because you end up changing your major 6 times or like.
wait. Did you do that?
No, I
Okay.
didn't change my major. But I know people that have changed their major. No, I'm music ed and I'm not good at anything else, so I'm just gonna stick with that.
No, that's why I'm communication. I'm not good at anything else except talking.
I don't know how exactly to react.
What do you think I'm doing this show for? I'm like, what am I most good at? Talking.
Talking to people.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it, so I'm just gonna play.
You are
some-
doing.
I'm gonna
fine.
play a ditty and then just the fiddle. World's smallest violin.
You're the one that pops up every time something sad happens. Just with the tiny violin ready to go.
Smallest violin.
There it is.
Yep.
They made an anime opening out of SpongeBob.
Of course.
3 times.
Why?
Because the internet exists.
Fair enough.
Favorite place on the internet? Don't be ashamed. Is it Tumblr?
No, I don't do Tumblr. I don't know, like YouTube.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
watch
where
a
I
lot of
spend
YouTube.
most of my time. I recently became a fan of Reddit, but like, there's so much just.
I watch
Stuff.
YouTube videos of like people asking questions on Reddit and then like them answering it.
Yeah.
I like those. Those are fun. But
What
I
do we
don't-
even need this? We can just watch
we could
everything
just-
on YouTube.
Right? We don't even need anything else.
Just YouTube.
Everything else is like too much. Well, YouTube is drama too, but everything else is just too much drama.
What isn't? I literally wrote a paper before you came on the show about how Washington is just drama. Like, this is for a political communication like major class,
Mhm.
and I just wrote like a drama TV rant.
Yeah,
And it's gonna get a good grade because politics.
because politics.
Are politics becoming pop culture? We're not about to get political, but
No, I don't.
I
I don't know. I also don't really follow politics. I mean, I like care about like what happens in our country, but like at the same time, it's just kind of
a lot.
a lot of things, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna retreat.
But like,
Not do it.
okay, I should have asked this at the beginning, but this show has no script. If you had to define pop culture, what would you say?
Oh, jeez.
Just like real quick.
I don't know. It's just popular culture. What? I don't know. It's what's popular, I guess. But it's also subjective because like you have things that are popular between each like age group. So like what's popular for like millennials may not be popular for like baby boomers or something. I don't know. I think it's really subjective.
No, that's actually a great answer. That's a mix of a couple different answers we've had in classes. But it's interesting that you brought up the age groups because I think that's why I said is politics pop culture, because we're both like young people. I don't know if we're Gen Y or millennials, but there's like a weird.
I don't know the cutoff.
We're somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
But like politics seems like the new pop culture like spectator sport because you're in an age group, you're in a like demographic and location, you pick your side, you get your bag of chips, and you just watch the craziness happen. And
Much.
then get on Facebook and complain if your team won or lost. Politics is football. It finally happened.
Wow.
Yep.
Finally made the connection. I don't know.
We did it.
We did it.
It's
We-
over.
We
should just
cracked the case.
we should just end the show right now. No more episodes. We did it. We solved the big
found it.
mystery. Dr. Jones. It's right here.
Oh my god.
So, big pop culture things coming soon. Avengers Endgame. 1 to 10. How hype?
Probably like a solid 8 or 9.
Why not 11?
I
Like, the whole world.
yeah, I know. It's like they're cool, but I personally I get really bored or I'm not really a fan of like just like really long drawn out like fight scenes.
Right.
Like and that seems to be like all that it is now.
Yes.
And I'm just not a fan of that. I don't know why. It's just that's why I really liked Captain Marvel because it didn't really do that. I mean, there was, but there was like a lot more substance there, which was really cool.
I'm shaking my head like I've seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No,
Oh,
I have 2 weeks before Endgame.
yeah,
I'll get to it.
yeah. You need to go.
Maybe.
It's it's a good movie. Like, it really is.
Okay. No, I trust you. I'm just like, Endgame.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
compute.
excited.
It's
It'll
just,
be good.
it's crazy. Like, they've held the popular audience for 10 years.
Oh yeah,
Like, with just
for like yeah, a
the
very
same
long time.
story.
Yeah, it's literally the same story,
Just
just
over and...
retold in different perspectives.
Yep. But I think, that's what people want, because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's comic books, man. Do you read comics?
No, I don't.
Okay. What about manga? Because we talked about anime.
I used to a lot, but I don't as much now.
Do you have like a favorite that you read? Or one that was like very special to you that you have
I didn't read a whole lot, but I read all of D. Gray Man. That one was good.
That rings a bell.
It was, what year was it? It was like 2014 or something when I read it all. Something like that. But a lot of these, like, I haven't
Oh, okay.
read them or watched it in like so long that I can't really remember a whole lot of it just because
Right.
college happened.
No, like that's freshman year, and this is like free advice for the viewers. Freshman year, you'll think you have no more free time. I know it lasts like the whole first 2 semesters. You're like, I have no time to myself anymore. And sophomore year, you're like, oh wait, yeah, I do.
Well, I also work kind of a full-time job. I work like 30 hours a week on top of taking like 17 credit hours.
That
But-
does change things.
Yeah. So I don't get to like do a lot of things on campus. Like if there's like this week was Springfest. I didn't get to, today is the first day I get to like do something because I've had to work every other day.
I didn't go to Springfest because I'm a hermit.
Hey man, that's fair. I wanted to. There was like popsicles and snow cones and stuff.
There was
I
like an inflatable like bouncy castle yesterday.
Wow, what was that?
I don't know.
I left campus before it.
There were like
before
there were
anything
kids
started.
everywhere and a big bouncy
Oh,
castle,
no.
and I was like, this doesn't look like my ish.
No.
Bye.
I've had either rehearsals or work or whatever else. I don't know.
Well, if you're not busy today, there's actually there's an arts festival going on downtown at 6, and I am doing live poetry writing.
Oh, nice.
And I'm advertising this to our YouTube audience like they can go. But this episode probably isn't going to come out till tomorrow when it's already over. But this is a convenient segue for me to be like, I write poetry.
No, I'm going to the Springfest Ben Rector concert.
Yeah, we talked about that. I honestly wish I could go, but it's too late. I signed up because I love Ben Rector.
Yeah.
He's from Tulsa.
Yeah.
And like everyone knows that. But like I just think that's so cool.
Yeah. The people from this town can do things with their lives.
We're in the middle of the Midwest for those of you who are like, what's Tulsa? Actually, a
It's
person
like not even
a person that sounds
really
like
the
that
Midwest. It's like south.
This person that sounds like that is probably from Tulsa. Let me try.
I don't know if you can tell we're from Tulsa because of how we speak.
What's Tulsa? There we go.
There we go.
That's not offensive.
Got it.
That's not offensive
Got
at all.
it, dude.
So, these one-on-one offs are probably going to end up being a little shorter, and that's okay because I don't want to start forcing a conversation. And, this is Morgan's first time on the show, but I think you've done very well.
Well, thank you.
You should come back and be even more comfortable because this setup is very intimidating, I know, and I'm super...
Just like we're staring at each other this whole
here.
time.
Yep, just staring. Right here. I'm just looking into your soul. Do you see anything in mine?
Nope.
Nope, not at all. Just the void.
Yep.
That's what 18 credit hours would do to you.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We did it.
Cracked the code.
Let's yeet this wheat and close the show.
Ooh.
A little variation on get this bread.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just a walking stale meme, folks. And
That's true.
and with that, we're gonna close the show. Morgan, thanks for being in the first guest/test subject in this new little series
Yeah.
of one-on-one offs. What these will probably come out over the summer and next semester as I do some traveling because I still want to make content for the show, but I'm not going to be in Studio 151. And it's real easy to do a table talk here because it's just self-contained. Like the mics are already here and there's a soundboard and
Right.
this is much more professional than my crappy editing suggests. But if I'm on the road and I buy like a USB table mic, what am I gonna do? So, this look out for more of these in the future. the whole 8 of you that watch / listen. But I don't know, maybe this will like blow up. Maybe YouTube will just eat this up. And Morgan will be like the reason we hit stardom.
I am the star.
Obviously.
Star is born and it is me.
Right here, right now. You heard it. In 6 months, when everyone's talking about Morgan on social media as some big influencer, and we're like, yeah, I did it. It was my show.
Did it?
I didn't get any credit. Just her.
Just me.
Just her. Yep. So I said I was going to close the show like 3 minutes ago. I'm actually going to do that now. Remember, we're now on YouTube, coming out every week to 2 weeks. My upload schedule is consistently inconsistent, but that's fine because I go to class. If you don't go to class or don't work, I'm jealous of you at the moment because I wish nothing more than I could just do nothing because I can't explain to you how tired I am, YouTube. I'm going to stop that. Actually, you know what? Episode 5, it's going to be all about college burnout. And it's going to be with a senior, a graduate, and a junior. I'm the junior. So we'll just talk about college burnout. I always do that at the end of the shows. I'm always like, you know what? That's what we'll talk about next week. So I guess that's why I ranted to you. I love your face, YouTube. Don't ever leave me. More of you should watch. But keep your eyes out for episode 5. That's probably what's coming next. And then, like I said, Tyler will probably be back soon. But again, thank you to Morgan. You want to plug anything of yours that you do? This is your chance to plug yourself.
I don't know. Follow my Instagram, Morgan L. Thomason.
There you
go. That's I don't do anything.
All right, there you go. If you're ever at Starbucks, unless you're in her specific area, you'll never see her. But she's serving you coffee in spirit.
Ooh.
With poorly written names. Do y'all do that on purpose?
So we actually don't write names. We just type it into the computer, and I personally ask them how to spell it every time, so I don't mess it up.
Where did that come from, though?
People, because baristas are overworked and really tired, and people are mean to us, and so we just feel spiteful sometimes.
You heard it here first, folks. Starbucks is doing it on purpose. But with that, I only have one more thing to say. And don't read Alex's Twitter. We'll catch you in the next episode. Good night.
See ya.